think for a while it was you're the professor with the dance video, and then it was you're the emo professor that sings the emo songs, and now I think it's going to be the Taylor Swift professor for a long time.
I have a biochem midterm today, but Taylor and Travis just got engaged. Due to this information, I can't focus, you all can't focus, classes
It was
canceled.
the video
Get out of here.
heard around the world.
We need time to process this information.
UT professor Matthew Pittman teaches a social media class that studies real-time engagement with their own videos on a class account. His most viral video received over 2.2 billion views
Taylor and Travis just got engaged.
and was reported on by numerous news outlets. After receiving recognition like that, the main question on every social media user's mind might be, what made that video so viral? And how do I do it again?
I knew it was so time sensitive because, again, it had happened like 20 or 30 minutes beforehand. I had the TA go into the hallway to post the video right then because I didn't want to wait that hour and 15 minutes of class period. Because if we wait, then now we're behind the cutting edge of the news cycle. And we got it out so fast that there were legit people in the class that were like, wait, she really did get engaged? This really happened? And we had to be like, yeah. And there's people in the comments that are like, I can't believe this is how I'm finding out that Taylor Swift got engaged through a skit in a social media class pretending to be a biochem class.
So there was a lot of thought going behind this video. It wasn't just, oh, we're going to pretend we're in biochem. Like, you voted on the type of class you're teaching and the timeliness of it.
Right. Because that is a big principle in the world of social media. Not all brands need to be trendy, but some brands, if they want to jump on trending audio or a trending topic, you need to move quickly. And so what better way to show that than by jumping on the biggest news story in the world at that time and being at like the cutting edge of it.
Yeah, you were kind of talking a little bit about things that can make these videos go viral, the elements. What kind of other elements do you know of?
So my formula, I should write a book, but I think it has to be, there's a secret sauce, and you don't know, I don't know exactly what's in it, but it has to be a setting that is expected or familiar, but then you need to have a twist. So our twist is usually taking things that would not exist in the classroom and importing them in. And that combination of a familiar setting with a familiar thing, but not in this setting, leads to it holds people's interest and they're willing to swipe on a little bit. So the classroom is a setting that everyone's familiar with, and we all have an experience with, and a lot of us have social anxiety. I think the band video did good because it was over my shoulder looking out at the whole audience, and so people see that and immediately they get the kind of like, oh my goodness, this is, what's gonna happen here? This is like making me socially anxious walking through there. So we have a classroom setting, and then dancing or singing or music, or last semester I pretended to like break an iPad. That one did really well.
Go stomp on that a few times, please.
And do you think it is at all interesting that you've had this account for a while and these videos are posted on this account? It's called Social Media Class. I mean, all they really had to do was look at the account and see that it was not real.
Right.
They still believed it.
To realize the video is fake, it required only one tap of a click on my profile or the class account to see, oh, these guys are silly, they do skits every week, and they're always pretending to be a different class.
And you do still get those negative comments.
Yes, which again, I can't be too angry because we need a little bit of enragement to drive the engagement. If it was a video of me holding a puppy and like saying a poem that's like very positive and pleasant, that would not go viral. There needs to be a little bit of confusion or something that makes people rewatch, because when they watch it a second time to see little Easter eggs, like, oh, that person's sleeping in the back. Is there a child in that classroom? Things like that make them watch again, and rewatching is one of the biggest things that'll move it up in the algorithm.
I mean, there is a saying, any publicity is good publicity. Do you believe in that?
The P.T. Barnum, yes, I believe in that until I start getting nasty DMs. Then I'm like, I could do a little less publicity. Some people don't like a man wearing pink pants, which is a shame because pink's my favorite color. They didn't like that a grown man likes Taylor Swift. They don't like that Taylor Swift is in the news so much. I got some interesting DMs from people who had strong opinions about me. But again, all that was early in the media cycle, and then even just Wednesday later in the day, it started to get more positive. Ironically, the further it got from like as it circled the globe, it got more positive, and they made it clear that it was a joke.
In the beginning, when you were getting those negative comments, did it kind of, I mean, affect you in a way?
Yeah, it's heavy. The first time you realize somebody had to look up information about me that wasn't in this video and send a hateful message. My wife and I had the conversation, okay, for someone like me that has like a public social media profile, are my kids in there? Or is there any identifying information? And it's pretty clean, but it is a good reminder moving forward. Let's make sure I don't have any like street signs or my address or any of that stuff. But yeah, it's a good reminder that there's angry, crazy people out there, and we all need to be careful what we're posting and reposting and sharing.
I mean, do you think that if you were scrolling through that you would have fallen victim to your own video, or to that video?
That's a great question. Certainly I have fallen victim in the past too. When everything I see now that's in a classroom, because of our experience, I'm like, is this real? Did this guy really bring in a whole rotisserie chicken? I'm like looking at their acting to see if it's too good or not good enough. So certainly I look with a critical eye to class content that's similar to ours, but I'm sure I've shared stuff in the past like, can you believe this happened? And it wasn't real.
And I actually did look at a survey done by the Pew Research Center. It said that 52% of users regularly get their news from TikTok and 40% from Instagram. Does that surprise you?
Not surprising. Our attention spans are decreasing, which is also like proven. So I know that I don't go to news sites or watch news, or for the most part, I get a lot of news, whether I want it or not, from social media. And usually it's not from vetted or trusted journalistic sources. It's like an opinion of a hot take of something about somebody saw on the news. So it's like a bad game of telephone. So for better or worse, it is a huge hub of content, some branded, some news stories, some diluted news stories, and it's all mixed in with like photos of puppies and kittens and like a sandwich that I had for lunch. So all these things make social media very complicated, but it's part of why I love to study it, because humans are complicated.
So knowing what you know and all the social media analytics that you do study, would you be confident that a video you post would go viral?
It's easy in hindsight to look back and say that was a success because of ABC. It's nearly impossible to predict if something will go viral, which is unfortunate because every brand, when they hire, it's like, oh, you're young, just make us go viral, like the Duolingo or like the, but you can't. We have certain principles and certain conditions that we can put in the classroom to increase the chances, like slightly, but there's no way nobody could do anything and say, I am 100% sure this will go viral.
So finally, if you saw someone that was looking to go viral on social media and like grow their platform, what would you tell them?
This is the number one question that I get in students. Everybody wants to go viral.
Right. And they don't understand like what comes along with it, as you realize.
Yeah, going a little viral is great. When it's too viral, then you start to get it from all sides. I think the number one piece of advice I give is talk to somebody that is not in your niche or field and talk to them for 2 minutes about their video. For example, I have a student who rides mountain bikes for UT. I didn't know he had a mountain biking team. He had really cool GoPro footage of him, first person, zooming down a trail at a SEC race. I don't even know SEC had like mountain biking competition. It was a really cool clip. And he came to me and said, I post these amazing clips and they are really cool, but my views have plateaued. What do I do? And so I don't mountain bike. My first thought was, oh, if you said you drove 3 hours to the race. If a friend drove 3 hours to see the race, it would be frustrating because they would only see you for 10 seconds, right? Like when you see Olympic skiing and people are standing there and just zoop and they're gone. I'm like, well, that's it. We drove all this way. So I was like, how about a video where it's like POV? You drove 3 hours to watch your friend race for 3 seconds. And he did that and he added a little, right when he goes over in air, he added a little arrow like, ding, that's my friend right there. And then zoom past him. So just that little hook of having a different angle or perspective into the same content, the same video footage, and it did like 4 or 5 times the engagement of his other content.
So it's about hooking them in.
Yes, and the perspective and the story, because humans are very like story narrative oriented. You can have the same piece of video, but if the audio or title text makes people think something differently, then you get that combination I was talking about earlier, where it's a familiar perspective but with a slightly unfamiliar element. So you get like a 1 + 1 = 3 kind of calculus that can hook us to watch at least a few seconds of it.
Right. And so social media essentially is news then.
Yeah.
It's the same format of
Right.
news because you got that hook in there.
Yeah, you can't lead. I don't know how you guys do what you do.
You like watch what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I see what you're saying. Yeah, you can't. If there's a story of it's not a talking head for the whole 45-second clip. It's a few seconds to set the stage, and then you have the video clip. Sorry, I wasn't tracking with you there. Yes, social media and news journalism, and news was probably doing it first, and now social media, I guess, is
following.
catching up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for coming in here today. I'm sure we're going to see Nacho Libre on the social media account soon.
Hopefully, we'll see if I can find the right hook or story to make it fit in the classroom.